I already know what's gonna happen with these results, and I know I'm never gonna hear the end of it.
God's gonna win.
So, no, well, not only that, but I'm pretty sure with how shitty my last couple weeks were, I'm gonna lose. And as the token American, what the fuck does that say about me?
Oh, the loser, by the way, has to edit the videos for next season. That's your punishment.
Bro,
Has to make every thumbnail.
if I could learn to edit, I might actually do it.
Hey, if this ain't a sign, I don't know what is. I don't know if you can even see this on the camera. My final score, final rank in the MalloryBros pick'em was 99.
99.
If that ain't a sign, I don't know what it is. I've got the 9 around the neck, finished 99th place in a MalloryBros pick'em. I mean, it's a bad place to finish, but still, 2 9s. What can I say, bro? Week 18 of the 2024 NFL season, we saw wide receivers throwing interceptions. We saw 350-pound defensive tackles catching interceptions. Just one normal week of football is all we ask for, and we will never get it. Welcome back to the NFL Pick Show. For next season, by the way, we're going to have an actual name for the show, and a better name than just the NFL Pick Show. But as always, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. We're going to go through a recap of Week 18 before making our picks for the Wildcard weekend. We've made it to the playoffs. Well, some of us have made it to the playoffs. Some of us are off to Cancun for an early holiday. Some of us will be there in a week. But anyway, welcome back to NFL Picks. Week 18, let's do a quick recap of last week before we get to the picks. There might be some special segments coming later in the show. Last week we had a quiz. This week we might have a bit of like a Q&A section. Who knows? Wait till the end of the show and find out. Before we get into that though, I need to introduce the panel. I am the boy Billy Walters Jr. You know that's the name by now. Don't ask me how much I lost or won last week because I won't answer. Yeah, all you need to know is that I'm about that action. 8 under the 9, that's an improper fraction. Talk to me nice. Ravens going to the Super Bowl. MVP Mar. You already know what time it is. Representing the Green Bay Packers. I go to him first because he's also in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I didn't need to pick a second team to do it. Man, I've been looking at all these guys talking about this game. And I'm just ready to run through a brick wall for this Packers team, man. I'm excited to see what happens.
That is right, I support the Cowboys too. Don't ask me what the Cowboys are doing this offseason. They're in Cancun with this guy's team, representing the 49ers, even though he's wearing a Kirk Cousins jersey.
Yeah. I'm Key. I'm a QB connoisseur, and my throat is connoisseur. So you'll have to let me off, guys.
Whoa. Connor pause.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so 49ers fan repping the Kirk Cousins jersey. QB connoisseur, and he picked one of the worst QBs of the season to get a jersey off. But records for last week then. One of my worst weeks. If you saw last week's picks video, it was a bit of a back and forth week of like some of these games don't really matter. Who really cares? Who's really going to win this? There was a few picks in there, especially from me, that was a bit bitter. You know, I picked the Jags to beat the Colts because last week the Colts let me down for £5,000. We won't talk about that though. That's still a fresh wound that hasn't healed yet. Don't mention the word Colt or 5 to me because then I'll just start thinking about the money that I've lost. I picked the Jags, they lost. I went 8-8 on the week. Q, how did you go for your record last week?
Same here, man. 8-8. A lot of these games, they played like they didn't really matter, and that was kind of tough to see. But all these games coming up are going to matter, so going to be getting some good football again.
Facts. Key, what about you? What was your record for week 18 to round off the regular season picks?
So I went 13-3, which I think might be my best week. 13-3.
What was the 3 that you got wrong?
Teams. Niners, of course. I took the Vikings over the Lions, and I took the Packers.
Who did you pick? You picked the Panthers to beat the Falcons. Oh yeah, because you were on the hate train because they dropped Kirk Cousins.
And I like Bryce Young.
You know Bryce Young? Do you know what number he wears? It's around my neck right now. That was 2 9s against each other, bro. I don't know why I didn't go harder for that game. Because I predicted it would be over in points. I did pick the Falcons though, so I would have lost everything anyway. But yeah, we don't need to pay respects for real, me and Q. We've got too many teams to talk about. Just to quickly run through it. I picked the Cowboys to beat the Commanders. Came down to the last play. Picked the Packers to beat the Bears. picked the Bills to beat the Patriots. But bro, I swear, play the clip from last week. I swear in last week's video, I said, give me the Patriots. Low key, I want to take the Patriots for this one. If you're the Patriots, you probably want to lose at this point in the season, get the draft stock, but this is a divisional game, right? Anything can happen in a divisional game. And if Josh Allen sits out, if he plays more than one drive, give me the Bills. If he sits out, give me the Patriots. I'm going to back the Patriots. So I don't know why ESPN's doing me dirty like this, but I don't think I picked the Bills. So maybe I should be 9-7 on this week, but it is what it is. I'll stay true to the screen. I picked the Falcons to beat the Panthers, didn't happen. Jags to beat the Colts, didn't happen. Picked the Chiefs to beat the Broncos, because obviously I wanted the Bengals to get in the playoffs, but the Chiefs sent the second string out there. Most of those players playing like they've never seen a foot or a ball. And I also picked the 49ers to beat the Cardinals, and they got cooked. So, and the Vikings to beat the Lions, which was just a terrible pick all around. Q, anything you want to say about last week?
Nah, not really. I'm ready to just kind of move on. But there's one thing I'm not going to move on from, dude. I can't believe it when I'm saying this. I sat my happy little ass down and watched an entire Jets game last week because, oh my God, man. If this is it for Aaron Rodgers, it's been one hell of a ride. And every time I think about it, I get emotional, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a different game without him.
Yeah, he went out there, balled out on the Dolphins. I'm disappointed because I had the Jets early as underdogs in the bookies to win that game. And then the closer it got to the game, the Jets became the favourites in the odds. And I was like, I should have took money on when they were the underdogs, bro, because I was fully convinced the Jets would win that game no matter what. I'm glad the Dolphins didn't make the playoffs. I don't know what it is about that team. I just didn't want to see them in the playoffs, bro. I don't think they're a serious team. I mean, Tyreek Hill is out here posting CT ESPN memes. He's out of there. They've got a big rebuild to do next season. But yeah, so pick six. Let's move into that segment. Don't want to stay on this for too long because this is a sore topic as well. We have a segment in the show called Pick Six where we pick 6 things to happen in the week. Now, normally we pick 6 each. Now, I decided as the editor of the show that was too much work. So for this week, what we decided to do was pick 2 players each to score a touchdown, and that makes 6 in total. So, Key, your 2 players were, I believe, Ricky Pearsall and Malik Neighbors. Both of them bagged a touchdown. Our boy Q picked Bijan Robinson and Josh Jacobs, right? Sure was. And then it was down to me. I was the last to make my picks. I made this whole spreadsheet in my notes on who I think would score a touchdown in week 18. Players in here like Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, Jamar Chase, Zach Ertz, all who got touchdowns. But the one I submitted to the list for our pick 6 was none other than Jamar Chase and Mike Evans. So I let the boys down for our pick 6. Mike Evans obviously went out there, broke a record, well, tied a record, I guess, with Jerry Rice. Bro, out of anyone on this list, like I've just said, Andrews, Bateman, Chase. Well, I picked Jamar Chase. Zach Ertz, Devontae Adams, Jahmyr Gibbs was on there too. I could have picked anyone else, and it would have been money for us, but I let us down. It is what it is, though. We might do a pick 6 again next week. I'm not too sure because there's only 6 games on. So we technically are picking 6 anyway. We're picking 6 teams to win. Without further ado, let's get into Wildcard Weekend. Play the music or something. We need some better production for next year. I want to see graphics and music and stuff on this show. But right now, we don't have the facilities for that. So, first game of Wildcard Weekend. We're going to see the Chiefs and the Lions sit out for this week. They earned the first seed and the first round bye. So the first game is going to be at 9:30 UK time on Saturday. We're going to Texas. Sadly, my Dallas Cowboys are not involved in the game. But it's going to be the Houston Texans hosting the LA Chargers. Q, we're going to go to you first for this Wildcard Weekend, bro. Who are you taking in this first game of the week?
Well, it's going to be a little bit of a tough game to start, especially this Texans offense hasn't shown up since before Christmas. Last time they were out there, they scored 2 points and didn't even show up. The starters anyway, last week, I don't think. They're probably going to have to work off a little bit of rust against this Chargers team. Chargers win last week didn't look crazy impressive, but it's a win going into the playoffs. That always helps build momentum. I think I'm going Chargers. The Texans won the worst division in football this year pretty much by default, and it's good that they got here, but I don't see them going any further than this.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the Texans, like you say, they've been struggling on offense. They obviously lost the star receiver Tank Dell on Christmas with that injury against the Chiefs. I checked out their injury report before, bro. They have a lot of players questionable for this one. They've got Shaq Mason, who's their first string right guard. He's questionable. We are recording this early in the week, by the way. So by the time these playoff games come around on Saturday and Sunday, most of these questionable players might be off the injury report anyway. But yeah, the Texans have a guard on there. They've got 2 cornerbacks questionable, a linebacker, a defensive tackle, and another wide receiver on there that was questionable on the injury report too. So a banged up team. As for the Chargers, I just checked their injury report as well. Both running backs, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, were also limited participants in practice. They were both questionable. But I don't think the Chargers' run game's that good anyway. You know, for this one, going to be relying on Justin Herbert. Going to be relying on Lad McConkey, coldest white boy of the year, probably. I can't think of a colder white boy this year. Cooper DeJean, maybe. You want to throw his name in there?
DK.
And what's he doing this offseason?
Best tight end in the league.
What's he doing this offseason? He's in Cancun, bro. Yeah. Anyway, Quentin Johnson, he had a breakout game last time for the Chargers. He went 14 targets, 13 catches for a $186. Didn't get a touchdown on top of it. That would have been a hell of a day for him. Boy, he picked up a little knock in that game. He was limited in practice with a thigh injury. So that's a big blow for the Chargers if he misses the game. But like I say, it's early in the week. I don't want to speculate too much on the injuries. But I'm going with the Chargers too. Yeah, I don't like what I see from the Texans. It is at home in Houston. But look what happened in Houston on Christmas Day. They got cooked. Wait there, was that on Christmas Day? Am I tripping? Wait, hold on. I said Tank Dell against the Chiefs. That wasn't on Christmas, was it? Because the Chiefs played the Steelers. I'm bugging. You must not know that I'm thugging. Either way, I don't like what I see from the Texans. I like the Chargers. I like the defense. Joey Bosa out there, that's my guy. I know this guy's a Nick Bosa guy. Well, just a Bosa family guy. Shout out Peter Griffin. Because he's a family guy. I'm picking the Chargers. Key, who you got for this one?
I am also taking the Chargers. I know you just said that both of the running backs were limited, but they signed Ezekiel Elliott, didn't they?
They sure
to
did.
The practice squad. Of course, they could just bring him up, activate him, get him in the starting line.
Get him 3 yards per carry, yeah.
I don't think the run game's that special anyway. But yeah, I just think I've said it every one of the videos, every episode. I've said the Texans aren't as good as people think that they are. They're a mid-card team. You know what I mean? Maybe even put them in the prelims. You know what I mean? Like they're not a main event team. I think the Chargers.
Well, that's why they're getting this Saturday slot, the first slot in the playoffs. There's a meme about the Texans getting this slot. But yeah, so 3 for the Chargers there. I'm actually scared for this one, I can't lie. Because I'm going to put, obviously, a money line parlay on this weekend. You know the vibes. Gamble responsibly, drink responsibly. Got to say this every single week. If you don't know ball, don't put money on it. That's the motto. But I'm putting money on the Chargers this week. I'm going money line. The spread right now is at -3. I don't like that. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. And I've got a feeling, bro, because the Texans, their main threat is going to be Joe Mixon. If they can get a run game going, I'm scared. Honestly, with it being the first game of the week as well, putting money on that first game of the week is always a bad idea. Because then your whole parlay can be gone in the first game. And it's like, damn, do I put it on again just without that game? But then that's more money. Anyway, gamble responsibly. I'm sounding like a degenerate right here. I'm picking the Chargers though. Justin Herbert going out there to get the job done. I hope Quentin Johnson plays because he is a big threat. The Texans' pass defense ain't that bad, I don't think. I think they ranked quite high this year. They've got a decent pass rush as well. I know Daniil Hunter's over there. He used to play for the Vikings back in the day. I like that guy. But yeah, give me the Chargers. So, is there any other games on the Saturday? I mean, technically it is. We move into 1 a.m. on the Sunday now. And it's the big one for me anyway. It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do I need to say anything other than just look at the top that I'm wearing? Number 8, MVP. MVP. Give me that award and give me the Ravens to beat the Steelers on a +10 spread, or -10 spread, I should say, bro. That's what the bookies have. They spread that right now. I think we go out there and cook the Steelers. I'm not going to lie. Cameron Hayward didn't practice this week. That'll be a big blow for the Steelers if he doesn't play, because he can cause problems on that defensive line. A big unit, Cameron Hayward, the all-time veteran in the NFL now, but it was only an illness, so he might recover from that by the time of the game this weekend. Also, the Steelers' right guard has a hand fracture, which I believe he's been playing through, but he might not play, but yeah, he probably will. But either way, I do not care. Now, I do need to talk about the Ravens injury report a little bit, because this is a big blow for the Ravens. Zay Flowers did not participate in practice this week with a knee injury. It was a very weird thing that happened last game. I don't know if you saw what happened to Zay. Did you see the Ravens game last week, boys?
Yeah.
I think I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, it was like he got tackled and a guy like landed on him, but it looked like he just bruised over his knee, but then he was holding his knee as in like it was agony. So I'm not too sure the extent of that. Hopefully it was just to, a precaution. Don't let him train today and he will play at the weekend, because Zay Flowers is a massive part of our offense and getting down the field. But even if Zay's out, we've got Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, Derrick Henry. Do I need to say anything else? Lamar Jackson can use his own legs to get down the field. Weapons everywhere I look. It's looking like a gun store. What can I say? Justice Hill was limited in practice. He's obviously been dealing with concussion. He got knocked the fuck out, Debo style, a few weeks ago. I probably shouldn't joke about concussions actually, because it's a serious topic, but yeah, Justice Hill was limited in practice. He is a big threat for our offense as well. If we can get him back, he's a good receiving back as well out the backfield. And it gives obviously Derrick Henry a rest. We can bring Justice Hill in for a few plays, but a massive blow for the Ravens if this guy does not play. Kyle Hamilton was limited in practice with a knee injury. Kyle Hamilton's one of my favorite players in the Ravens, offense and defense. I love that guy. I think he's so good. Hopefully he does go out there and play. Either way, though, we should get the job done against the Steelers, bro. Bum-ass Steelers. Russell Wilson's going to be running from his life from Kyle Van Noy off the edge. We've got George Pickens out there. Did you see that guy last week? Did you see George Pickens' performance last week? I had the same amount of yards as him. We all did. We all had the same amount of yards as George Pickens last week. He was out there playing like he's never seen a foot or a ball. But that's enough of me talking about the Ravens. Key, I'll throw it over to you. Who have you got for this one?
So, with the Ravens coming off 4 wins in a row, and the Steelers coming off 4 losses in a row, obviously they played before Christmas. Was it? It was before Christmas, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it was the game before Christmas.
I can't remember the schedule, to be honest. We've played twice this season already anyway. But
yeah, well, the last time they played, it was 34-17 to the Ravens. And I'm a big Pat Fryermuth fan. We all know this. But I'm just going to take the Ravens. If the Steelers win, I'll be chuffed. You know what I mean? Because then the Ravens and Billy Walters Jr. have to come and meet us. Cancun.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of my teams is already there with the Cowboys are in Cancun right now with Cousins and the 49ers. A lot of C's going on. But Q, who you got for this one, bro?
I think at the end of the day, I'm going to have to pick the Ravens. They just look like a much better team right now. But you can't forget, all the way back in week 11, we were talking about these kinds of AFC North matchups, and the Steelers got the better of the Ravens. So they split the series this year. They're really going to need that to take that into consideration, especially like Crab just said, these two teams coming off 4 W's and 4 L's respectively. There's going to be a lot of bad blood in this game. It's probably going to be another gritty, everybody going at each other's throats kind of game, but I'm definitely going Ravens coming out on top.
Well, I hope so, man. It is going to be a tough game. Like you say, divisional game, played each other twice already. It always gets a bit sticky when you get into these divisional games, especially when you've played each other twice in the season. I mean, just look what happened with the Bills and the Patriots this last week. I know they played the second strings or whatever, but even still, bro, when Josh Allen played the first time against the Patriots, bro, divisional games are always tough, and especially getting into the playoffs, but I just don't think the Steelers have it in them. Honestly, on offense, bro, like, what can they do? George Pickens is a great talent, but if he plays like he did last week, It's money for the Ravens. Moving on, though, to the next game in the weekend. It's going to be 6 p.m. on Sunday UK time. The Buffalo Bills hosting the first round exit Denver Broncos. Give me the Bills. I don't have too much to say about this one. I'm mad that the Broncos got in the playoffs and the Bengals didn't. A bit of conspiracy going around the league that people think the Chiefs lost on purpose against the Broncos because they didn't want to face the Bengals in the playoffs, if that was a possibility. But yeah, I mean, the Broncos, solid defense. I don't trust Bo Nix, though. I just don't. Against Josh Allen, that guy can do anything. That is Superman right there in the backfield. So, give me the Bills. Key, who you got for this one?
I'm also taking the Bills. I think Josh Allen's too good. Obviously, he's had an MVP caliber season. I think the Broncos, I haven't really got that much to say about them. Again, I think they're just they're not the best, are they, really? Bo Nix, I know you hate him, Billy Walters Jr., but I don't think he's too bad. I think he's a good QB. I think they're sorted for a while now at QB. I think he could potentially be like their franchise quarterback, but again, I just think the Bills are just way better. Even with I feel like the Bills don't really even have a wide receiver one. I feel like they don't really have a go-to Mike Evans. I was going to say Deebo Samuel, but I'm not even going to say that.
Don't bring his name up.
They don't even have your Mike Evans or Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. They don't have their wide receiver one, but they still make it work because Josh Allen's just that good. So I think the Bills will win.
Yeah, just to touch on Bo Nix again, I wouldn't say I hate Bo Nix. That's a bit of a strong word. I just said I don't trust him. I don't trust that Bo Nix could go out there. We're going to talk later about another rookie quarterback who I have a lot more faith in to go out there and do a job in the playoffs. Bo Nix, he's not that guy. He could go out there and show me why he is that guy, though. He could go out there against the Bills, put on a show. But I don't trust him. Q, what's your thoughts on this game? Who are you taking? Are you going with the upset, or are you going with the home team, the Bills?
I mean, I really wanted these first few games to be different, but this whole AFC side of the bracket seems pretty set in stone for me here. I'm picking the Bills. Broncos have done an amazing job throughout the season rallying behind their rookie quarterback. I think they were expected to finish with 5 or 6 wins at the start of the year, and to make it all the way to the playoffs is no small feat. But then again, some of their showings, especially just beating up on the Chiefs' second stringers to actually get punch their ticket, doesn't instill the most confidence in me. I'm excited to see what they can do, but I don't think they're going to be able to do enough against this Bills team.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the strength, I think, for this Broncos team is the defense. I've spoken a lot this season about players like Nick Bonito. He is probably my favorite player on the Broncos defense. And Key, you just mentioned about how the Bills don't really have that, all-star wide receiver out there. They do have Shakir, his name is, right? Their wide receiver one. He's had a decent season. I think he went for 800 plus yards. Got a good few touchdowns this season. They've obviously got James Cook in the backfield. He went for 1,000 yards this season. But it's Josh Allen, bro. He makes those plays happen. Talking about just the quality of the wide receiver, the points I wanted to make, the Broncos have arguably Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain. I think he's probably number one candidate for Defensive Player of the Year for the regular season. So what is a player like Shakir going to do against him? And does it even matter when Josh Allen's there, bro? Josh Allen can throw passes to himself, probably. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised to see that. If Josh Allen just throws it to himself because he's like, you know what? Thanos type beat. Fine, I'll do it myself. And yeah, I think he's going to lead them to a win.
He's already done it once this year.
Exactly, bro. There's no rules. Speaking of that play, though, Amari Cooper was obviously the guy who threw it back to him. If you're talking about that game in the snow, pause. Yeah, hold on now. Stay with me now. Okay. Speaking of Amari Cooper, though, he is questionable for this game. He's been dealing with a family matter. I don't know anything more than that. There's obviously not much details out there, but he missed the last game, missed training because of something to do with a family matter. So hopefully everything's okay for him. I'm a big fan of Amari Cooper, obviously given his past in the NFL. So yeah, he'll be a big addition to that team if he does manage to play against the Broncos. But it's going to be a good game, man. I love playoff football. Anything can happen any given Sunday. Next game, It's a big one. Green Bay Packers are traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. Q, we're going to give you the floor. This is 9:30 UK time. What a week, or what a weekend, I should say. Like, I can't wait for this. Q will give you the floor, bro. What's your thoughts on this one? A banged up Packers team going into this game against possibly a banged up Eagles team. Who knows? Are they playing games? Are they being for real on their injury report? Who knows? Q, take it away, my man.
Yeah, I think you have to definitely look at the injuries to both of these quarterbacks coming into this game because at this point in time, I don't think Jalen Hurts has cleared concussion protocol yet, and Jordan Love had something going on with his hand. I think I heard basically, like when you hit your funny bone and your whole arm kind of just like shoots up like that. I think he's dealing with that, so that should be good by the time the game rolls around. But I'm trying to think. I don't remember what the show's name was, but basically I saw this morning Shady McCoy in for the Eagles and James Jones for the Packers on their talk show in the morning. Uh, LaShawn McCoy talking about Nick Sirianni, not worried about this game. Jalen Hurts, not worried about this game. Saquon, not worried about this game. And, Shady predicting a blowout, but James Jones shoots right back talking about how he thought Shady was ready, how he thought everybody on the 2010s Eagles team was ready, but you know who was ready? James Jones, Tremont Williams, Charles Woodson, all these greats on the Packers 2010 roster. I'd be a fake fan if I went against my team here, and I'm not going to do that. I was looking a little doom and gloom. Those 2 L's to end the season weren't feeling super great, but that might just be the fire we need to kick ass coming into these playoffs. I'm picking the Packers in an upset.
I like it, man. Got to stand by your team no matter what. Key, who are you taking for this one?
So I did a little bit of research just on a couple of little facts, and Fox Sports has Green Bay the 7th in best rushing defense in the league. Obviously, the Eagles like to rush a lot with Saquon, but they also have the Eagles on like the best all-around, like overall defense, which is sort of selling me on the Eagles. And I had the Eagles written down, but I forgot how much I hate Nick Sirianni.
They seem to be experts in D over at Fox Sports as well, but that's a conversation for a different day.
Hey.
But yeah, I'm going to go against what I've written down. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers.
Oh.
I'm a cheesehead. For the playoffs, I'm a cheesehead.
Words of Vince Lombardi. I respect it. So I guess I'm the only one on the side of the Eagles then. Give me the Eagles, bro. I don't care who plays our quarterback. I don't care if it's Jalen Hurts, which I think he will play. It's just a bit of gamesmanship, I think, from the coaches being like, oh, he's not practiced. He's not out to... Basically, what I heard was he's got a clear concussion protocol, but to do that, you need to practice. And they don't practice on like Mondays. And he got asked on a Monday, has he cleared protocol? And the coach was like, no. But that's only because he hasn't practiced because he couldn't. So I think they're taking the piss with it. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith were both questionable on the injury report as well, which is obviously their 2-star receivers for the Eagles, but I think they should be fine. And then you look at the Packers, bro. Jordan Love, he should be okay, but you've just lost Christian Watson. Also, Dobbs was listed as questionable. Like I said earlier, though, in the video, this is early in the week. So by the time these games happen, all these players might play. But the Packers, bro, I'm sorry, I don't trust you. I like you as a team. I think Jordan Love, there's a promising future there for your team. You've got a lot of weapons, but a lot of them are injured right now. What's your tight end called? Kraft? That's him. I like him, bro. I like him. I think he's a good weapon. Bro, I saw him the other day do like a tight end sneak. I don't think I've ever seen that play before. That was fucking class. But like I say, I don't care if it's Jalen Hurts. I don't care if it's Kenny Pickett. I don't care if you put a picket fence back there, bro. I'm picking the Eagles to win. Saquon Barkley can carry this team to a victory no matter what. He's going to put the team on his back and get the W. I'm taking the Eagles on the spread. Right now, the bookies have the Eagles a minus 4.5 point favorite. And I'm taking the Eagles on the spread, bro. Give me that, spread the wings and fly. In fact, why am I doing fly Eagles fly as a Cowboys fan? I can't be doing that. But still, bro, I like Saquon Barkley. Give me the Eagles.
This is blasphemy.
Hey, when there's money on the line, Q, morals go out the window. Morals go out the window, bro. You know what I mean? Allegiances go out the window. when there's money on the line. So that's our first game where we've seen different picks. Very interested to see what will be the picks for the next game. We move now into Monday morning, 1 a.m. UK time, Sunday night over in America. I said before about rookie quarterbacks. We've got JD5, Jaden Daniels, and his Washington Commanders traveling to Tampa to play Baker Mayfield's Buccaneers. This is going to be a good game, man. This is the first one of the week where I'm like, oh, it could go either way. Right now, the odds are in favor of the Bucs on a -3 spread. They are 20-33 on the money line. Commanders on the +3 spread, 7-5 on the money line. I'm going to let you guys talk first because I am so 50-50 on this game. I want to see what you guys have to say. Key, I'm going to go over to you first, bro. Who you taking? I've got a feeling I know who you're going to pick. Commanders versus the Bucs. Who you got?
So I'm a little bit annoyed right now with the Buccaneers. So last week, me and Billy Walters Jr., we had parlays involving.
Oh wait, hold on. Just on that topic, Key. Just on that topic, can I just show off a sec? I'm sorry to cut you off. I do this all the time, but I just need to show this off from Father himself. I hate the way my camera's backwards, bro. But if you can't see what this says, take a screenshot and flip it. Anyway, go on, Key. Sorry, bro.
So we had parlays on, including a Mike Evans touchdown. I had a parlay of 3 different games with like 3 legs on each one. And the only thing to let me down was that Mike Evans touchdown. And the only reason he didn't get that touchdown was because Bucky Irvin ran it in.
No.
And Baker after the game, he was in the conference and he was basically saying like he was annoyed at Bucky for running it in because Mike Evans needed the yards. So I'm thinking if he doesn't run it in, then he's going to target Mike Evans again, meaning he's more than likely going to be the next guy to score the touchdown. And I win money. And isn't that what we all want? You know what I mean? I'm a struggling student.
Yeah. No, I don't think he was annoyed, but he was definitely like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
Like, Bucky Irving, like, the actual amount of yards that Mike needed for 1,000 plus a touchdown, and he just kind of chucks it away. Bucky Irving catches it, runs it in. And in the conference room, they're like, what was your thoughts when Bucky ran it in? He's like, oh shit. Like, he's gonna have to play another 11 years after this to get to 1,000 yards. I don't want to be the guy that fucked it up. So sure enough, they schemed something on the last play of the game. And at that point, if you're the Saints and you know that they're record chasing,
yeah,
why not put like 11
triple team them?
Like, I'm gonna do the first like all 11 defense where like we're just gonna throw Mike Evans out of the play. We already lost. We're down by a touchdown. You have 13 seconds left. Fucking our season doesn't amount to anything. Falcons already lost, so who cares? Put 11 on Mike Evans, prevent that from happening. I bet if Marshawn Lattimore was out there, he'd call all his guys over. But he's gonna have to do that in this game.
That's a big talking point for this game because he is questionable. Lattimore, he's obviously just came back from injury for 1 game. Can't remember who he played against, but he got cooked and then he went back out on injury. But he might be back for this one, playing against Mike Evans again. That will be absolute cinema. NFL scriptwriters, you've done it again. If we get to see Mike Evans, Mr. Automatic 1000 against Lattimore again, bro, crazy. But Key, back to your point, who are you taking for this game?
With that in mind, I'm not betting against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like the organization. Why did that sound so weird? That sounded so weird.
You said organization like it was like a pharmaceutical company rather than just saying like franchise.
I don't know why. Yeah. Anyway, I like the franchise.
That's better.
I like the whole team as a whole. Baker's my guy. And yeah, I'm taking the Buccaneers. My pick.
You know my favorite thing about the Buccaneers? The stadium has a pirate ship in it. I always thought that was the coolest shit ever. When I used to see that on Madden, I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I was about to say that. I was the running back for them on like last year's when Andy Dalton come in, and that was when we hate him. But anyway, and every time I'd score a touchdown, it'd cut to the ship, and unbelievable, man. Scenery, absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema. Q, who you got for this one, bro? You taking the Bucs? You taking the underdog Commanders?
Look, man, I think either one of these teams can win for sure, like what we talked about a little bit ago. Um, I want to say I'm leaning towards Buccaneers just because they've had, like, with relatively similar team, they've had this playoff experience already. But we also saw last year where Packers' youngest team in NFL history, no playoff experience. Surely they're going to get killed by the Cowboys, and we basically destroyed them. And I don't know if I see an upset brewing like that. But it can definitely go either way. For me, I'm gonna have to stick with my gut, and gut says Tampa Bay.
No, I've just saw this guy laughing about the Cowboys getting beat in the playoffs. Who's your team playing this year in the playoffs? Just wondering. They're playing the Cancun Commanders, bro. Down on the beach, playing football on the beach. But I'm taking the Washington Commanders. Give me JD5, bro. I want to see an upset, and I think this is the game where we could see it. Could go either way. I think it's going to be very high scoring. Right now, the bookies have the over-under for points at 50. And honestly, I can see this being like 26 or 27 to like 31, bro. Like a high scoring game, bro. You know, just like full on shootouts. But every time I've said that this year for the NFL, it's never been a shootout. So maybe it might be an under. But one big thing for the Bucs, Cade Otton is questionable. He missed, I believe, the last 2 games. He is a big threat for that Bucs offense. Baker Mayfield loves to throw to a tight end. Obviously, Mike Evans out there too. Bro, they can put up yards. They can put up points. But I don't know. There's just something about this Commanders team. It's not even the team. It's JD5. The defense sucks, though. The defense sucks at stopping the run, especially. So if they can get Bucky Irvin going, I mean, you've seen what that guy's done this season as a rookie, 1,000 yards, which honestly isn't that hard for running backs these days. But still, I like the Commanders' defense regardless. Frankie Louvu, I like him. Bobby Wagner, I like him from back in his Seahawks days. So I really want to bet on the Commanders to win this one. I can see the Bucs getting the dub, though, and I wouldn't be mad if they did. You know, I'm a big fan of Mike Evans. I always preach Mike Evans for a future Hall of Fame spot. He's just hit the consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, 11 seasons in a row. That is crazy, bro. You know what I mean? 11 seasons is crazy longevity. It's going to be a tough one. If Lattimore plays too, I think he could get cooked again. Was it the Eagles they played? And he got cooked? He came back from injury for 1 game and got absolutely smoked. But my mind is telling me that the Bucs will win this game. They have all the weapons out there. You know, they've got Bucky Irvin going against that run defense of the Commanders, which sucks. But I want to go with the upset. I want to see JD5 put on a show. The stuff he's been able to do this season has been truly magic. And I think we're going to see some more magic on the road. Washington to beat Tampa Bay at home, cause the upset. Upset alert, sound the alarm. I said we're going to have sound effects for next season, then there's going to be nothing. I might put a little emoji on screen for this video, but next season, maybe we'll have some sound effects. Yeah, that's what we need, bro, for real. I was going to get one for stream, you know, when I stream on Twitch, link down below, by the way. Got to get that plug in there. That's what my laptop was saying before, and it was about to die. But, well, I see, I always do this and make these side jokes, and I forget the original point. I don't even know what I was saying, but let's just move on. So, we've got 2 for the Bucs, 1 for the Commanders. Go for it.
I got one more thing about
Yeah,
this
sure,
game.
go for it.
Tampa Bay needs to get out to a convincing lead to start because this 2024-2025 Commanders offense, is this one of, if not the most clutch offense of all time in the final minute? Like, we've seen the Hail Mary, we've seen the first Dallas game. Like I said offense only. That outside of that was fucking crazy. And we saw it again this week too. Last second touchdown over the Cowboys. Tampa Bay is not going to want to get into a situation where they have to take a field goal with like a minute left. They're going to need to be up by. They're just not going to want to dig the Commanders into a hole that they can escape with a minute left. They need to put the pressure on early and keep it going all game.
Yeah, for real.
I also just say,
go for it.
Dallas Cowboys, welcome to Trey Lance. We've both been put through Trey Lance. Bro, welcome for him.
I saw someone say that Trey Lance was a dual threat quarterback. And I was like, yeah, he is a dual threat. He's terrible and awful. But
interceptions and pick sixes.
Oh man. We're not even going to talk about Jerry there, but We're not even going to talk about what Jerry did to Cooper Rush last week, but come on, Jerry. Come on, Jerry, bro. That's pocket change out your pocket, bro. Ridiculous. Anyway, bro, last week with the Cowboys Commanders game, there was like 32. I was scoreboard watching on Red Zone, and I think it was the Falcons game was going to overtime. So I thought, let me tap in with them because I saw the Cowboys game had like 32 seconds left and the Cowboys were winning. And I watched the overtime in the Falcons game, checked the box scores for the rest of the league, and I was like, the Cowboys lost? Wait, what do you mean the Cowboys lost? I turned it off with 30 seconds to go. But again, it just shows the magic that team can produce. And that wasn't even JD5 out there. That was Marcus Mariota. Shout out to him, ex-Tennessee Titan. Bro, this is a side tangent again, but when I was in school, I set up with my English teacher. Well, I didn't set it up. I was part of with my English teacher, like a student newsletter. And she let me write about whatever the fuck I wanted. So I thought, let me write about the NFL. And I wrote about the NFL draft. I can't remember what year this was, but I'm showing my age now. And I wrote about the draft, and it was Mariota and Jameis Winston. They went 1 and 2, I believe, in the draft to the Bucks. 2015 to the Bucks and the Titans. So since then, I always kept up with, Jameis and Mariota because I wrote a whole fucking student newsletter article about those two going top 2 in the draft. So it was nice to see Mariota go out there, and even though it was against the Commanders, it was a bit like nostalgic for me to see that guy go out there and play like he did. Speaking of the Titans, though, they need a quarterback again, bro. They wish they could go back to 2015 and draft another one because, I mean, they've just drafted me on Madden career mode, and oh my god, that offense stinks. But that's a topic for another day. We're talking playoff here. We don't need to talk about no teams that didn't make it to the playoffs. Ain't that right? Some of us can't relate. But we move in now to the final game of the wildcard weekend. This feels like it's flown by. This, again, for me, could go either way. Honestly, it's the Vikings at the Rams. Now, there is no underdog for this game, according to the bookies. They have them at the same odds, which is 20-21. Both of them on the same odds. Vikings at the Rams, traveling to LA, despite getting 14 wins this season in the regular season. Bad showing last week for the Vikings. Sam Darnold went out there looking like he's never seen a foot or a ball. It's the third time I've used that joke, but I'm going to keep running with it. But I said a few weeks ago, I don't trust Sam Darnold. I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's top of the quarterback lists in the NFL right now. The week after I said that, he dropped 5 touchdowns on my head. So I'm going to say the same thing again this week. Sam Darnold, you are not elite. He is not one of the top 5 quarterbacks. I think that's even fair to say, actually. He's not a top 5 quarterback. I'd have to make a full list on... Me and Key tried to do this the other day, make a list, and we couldn't even keep track of 7, but that's just our brains being fucked. But yeah, I might... You know what? In this postseason, we might do like a breakdown, top 10 players for like certain positions of the season. But I don't think Sam Darnold's an elite quarterback like that. But look at the talent on that Vikings team. I'm going to wait to make my pick because I do want to yap a little bit about this game. Q, I'm going to go to you first, bro. Who are you taking to win this game? In LA, Vikings versus the Rams. They've played before this season, and you know how that game went. We'll go over to Q to find out his thoughts.
Yeah, man. If you told Vikings fans at the start of the year that J.J. McCarthy, their rookie quarterback, was going to get injured, they probably would have just not even tuned in. And then if you told them they went 14-3, they would have thought they would have won the Super Bowl. But somehow they got caught in the middle of all of that, and they're the 5th seed. Which I don't know if that's ever happened before, a team with that many wins being so low on the ranks here. Probably hasn't happened. But I think the Vikings, the face mask in the end zone against the Rams, that was missed and got called for a safety. There's so many other things you can point to that game and say Vikings deserve to lose because of all these other reasons. But all those reasons are going to be fresh on their mind against this Rams team, and I think they're going to be more motivated than ever to go in there and get a win here. So I'm going Vikings on this one.
I like it. Now, I checked the injury reports. It looks like both of these teams are coming into this game healthy. The only standout injury I saw was the starting right tackle for the Rams with a shoulder injury, but the coach of the Rams said he should play. So it looks like both teams fully healthy coming into this one. Now, I said there was no favourite, but actually, in the point spread, the bookies have the Vikings at -1 on the point spread and the Rams on +1. which is just a crazy spread to see in a playoff game, you know, a -1. Like going back, the Eagles were on a -4.5, the Ravens on a -10, the Bills against the Broncos is even a -9, and then this game is a -1. Key, with all that being said, who are you going to take for this game? Do you fancy the Rams at home or the traveling Vikings coming off a loss against the Lions? Who have you got?
I feel like it's not that much really for me in my head. There's not that much trying to sway me away from the Vikings taking the dub. I like the Rams head coach Sean McVay. I think he's a good coach. I think some of the
You know what? Actually, hold on, hold that thought.
For.
That vinyl behind you right now actually looks like Sean McVay if he had sunglasses on. I don't know if I'm the only one who can see that, but not the girl, the one on the other side. That looks like Sean McVay to me with sunglasses on.
This?
Yeah, that looks like his haircut, and then underneath they like rocks. It looks like sunglasses. Sorry, go on, Key. I just thought of that. Like, tell me you can't see that anyway.
That looks like the mayor of Flavortown to me.
Yeah, Fieri. The boy. Yeah. Some games on these episodes that we do. Some games in my head, it's a fighting battle. You know what I mean? It's like Tampa Bay and Washington. It was like my head's telling me different things. With this one, it's an empty place right now. I don't mean to say I've got no brain, but it's an empty. My conscience is an empty place. My mind. So I'm taking the Vikings. I think the Rams are obviously a good team. I just don't think that they're on the same level as the Vikings. I think Sam Darnold's good. I think obviously Justin Jefferson's one of the best, if not the best. But yeah, I think the Vikings. I don't think the Rams are gonna do it. I think it's a first round exit.
So, this is a tough one for me because I am a gambler, as we all know. And when I see odds going in certain ways, it makes me want to... I love an underdog, you know, just even with no money involved on a bet. Like, I love an underdog story in sports. And like, to be fair, I wouldn't know if you would call it an underdog. They've beat the Vikings already, and, you know, the odds are kind of in their favor. But bro, this is going to be a good game. This is one that I'm leaving off the parlay. Same with the last game. Honestly, I'm only putting on 4 teams this week on a guarantee. Like a Charles Barkley guarantee. For this one, though, I'm leaning towards the Vikings. I don't trust Sam Darnold at quarterback. I've said this from the beginning of the season. I don't trust Sam Darnold. But look at the weapons he has. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, even TJ Hawkinson, even though TJ did not catch a single touchdown pass this season, which I think is crazy for a 14-3 team. Their tight end didn't get a single touchdown in the season. Jalen Naylor has been picked up.
I was going to say, I thought TJ was injured for a good part of the year.
He might have been, to be fair. That might be affecting the stats, but yeah, even players like Naylor, he's picked up a few touchdowns recently. Aaron Jones in the backfield, I'm sorry, I'm not convinced on him. Or maybe it's not just him, but just the Vikings run game in general. Flipping the script out to the Rams, their run game is cooking. Kyron Williams had a great season. I think he was top 4 maybe in rushing yards for running backs this season. And I like the Rams offense. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. Don't know what's going on with Kupp. They've not been targeting him the last few weeks. I say this every week talking about the Rams. That's my guy. Triple Crown winner. What the fuck are you doing, Matthew Stafford? Throw the damn ball to Cooper Kupp. But like I say, I think there's politics at play. They're trying to phase him out of the team because they don't want to pay him. But this is going to be a high-scoring game, I think. But I said that last time for the Vikings, and look what they did against the Lions. Was that the Lions playing great, or was that Sam Darnold stinking it? I think it was a bit of both. Do I trust Matthew Stafford, though? Look what they did against the Bills. Wasn't that game like 46-42? Or some shit like that, bro? The Rams beat the Bills this season. They've beat the Vikings already. I can see the Rams getting a dub. Now, I know I'm sitting on the fence for this pick, but let me sit on the fence for a bit longer. Let's talk about defense. I don't know too much about this Rams defense, I can't lie. Don't really know who the pass rushers are. But if I'm the defensive coordinator for the Rams, I'm looking at what the Lions did last week. I'm looking at how they caused problems for Sam Darnold. And I don't know the stats. I probably should have looked this up beforehand, but you know, we go off vibes. We don't really care about stats here. I don't know where they rank the Rams defense in terms of how often they blitz and things like that, but they need to get pressure on Sam Darnold. If you can get pressure on Sam Darnold, he plays. I'm not going to say the same thing again, but I've said it already. You just saw last week. Watch the tape. You know, like I say, if I'm the DC at the Rams, watch the tape for last week. But saying that though, high-powered offense for the Rams. I'm a big fan of the Vikings defense though. One of my favorite defensive players in the NFL is Harrison Smith. He is a great player. Blake Cashman, he is great. Van Ginkel and Grenard, I think they both got double digits for sacks this season too. So Matthew Stafford's going to be under a lot of pressure. But the Rams do have a good run game. Kyron Williams, if they can get him going, work off the play action. This is going to be a great game. And all that rambling and yapping, I've got to make a pick. I am going to pick the Vikings. I'm going to pick the Vikings. They're coming off a loss. They're going to bounce back, I think. They've got Jetters out there. If they lose in this first round, it would be a massive upset. And like I say, in terms of sports stories and gambling, I love to see an upset and an underdog go out there and win. And I might throw a little parlay on with the Rams and the Commanders on there. A little two-piece underdog story for the week. And then that way I can cover all bases. I've picked the Vikings in the picks. I've picked the Rams on a parlay. But don't sleep on the Rams, that's all I'll say. Do not sleep on the LA Rams, especially at home too. The Vikings though, bro, they need to bounce back. You know, Dan Campbell shook hands with the Vikings coach after the last game and said, see you in a week. He was that confident himself, that Dan Campbell, that they would be seeing the Vikings in the conference game. Bro, I love the NFL, bro. I love sports. This is going to be such a good week of football. For next week, we're probably going to do a whole bracket video, and then that can lead us into the Super Bowl, because we'll have the divisional games, the conference games, and then the Super Bowl. That's the way, obviously, it goes. How does the seeding work? So the Chiefs, are they going to play? They play whoever's the lowest seed after the wildcard, don't they, right? Is that how it works? So judging by my picks right now, for example, they'll play the Chargers, and then that would mean the Ravens play the Bills in the next round.
Yep.
I don't even want to see that game. That's a scary game right there. But, bro, I just love football, man. I love to get on here and talk about it with the boys. We might do a pick six for next week. I'm not too sure. But yeah, man, let us know your thoughts in the comments below for Wildcard Weekend. Boys, anything else to add before we round off this episode?
Are we not going to talk about our overall season pick record?
We sure are. And we should have done that at the start. It's going to get edited in at the start. Thank you very much for reminding me, Key. Yeah, so this is gonna have to get edited back in at the start. I'm a fucking idiot. So we have been making predictions since week 11 in the NFL season, getting into obviously week 18 all the way through the regular season. Now we're still making picks into the playoffs, but we can do a separate wins to losses in the playoffs if you want, because there's not that many games. But now that the regular season's over, let's go through our overall scores for the regular season picks since these videos started on the channel. See who won and see who lost. The winner gets bragging rights. The loser has to edit these videos for next season. That's the deal. So, how do you want to do this, boys? How do you want to start with the revealing records? You want to go Q first? Okay, let's go Q first. Q, the resident American, you know, the token American as you referred to yourself as. What was your record for this season from week 11 to week 18?
Well, I definitely did better towards the first half of the season, but coming down the stretch here, I went 80 and 40. So I know just twice as much that I don't know. For every 2 games I get right, I get 1 wrong, and not super happy about that.
Key, I'm going to throw it over to you, bro. What was your record for this season?
So me being the resident least ball knowing analyst on the panel, I expected when we were counting this up to be 60 and 60, but I just so happened to go 83 and 37 on wins and losses. I think my last couple of weeks clutched me up. The first few weeks was like 9 and 7, you know, I never went negative, but my last couple of weeks were like 13 and 3. Like that kind of upward
trajectory.
Trajectory,
yeah, that's
the word. So yeah, 83 and 37. I will take that.
That is very respectable. Now coming in first place, I went 85 to 35 on the season. So very close, just 5 picks between the 3 of us, you know. And like I mentioned before as well, we always pick for our team, even when we think our team's going to lose. That's just what we do as football fans. So those picks could have easily been swayed as well if we would have picked, you know, against the teams that we support. So yeah, man, overall, you know, we've got a general consensus here of like knowing a similar amount of ball. Now, Q, you did come last, which means you've got to, you know, edit next season. But at the end of the day, Q, at least your team's in the playoffs. Can't be said for some other people. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, Key, for this entire video, I don't want to hear you say the words play or off in any context. Because you're not in the playoffs, bro. You can't say playground. You can't tell somebody in the house to turn the lights off. Keep them on. Because you're not going to the playoffs. Q, anything to add, bro?
Again, it's just been really awesome to be able to do this with you guys, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
You want to jump in there, Key? I thought you were going to say something.
Just, I know ball. What can I say, guys? I don't really. This week saved me. What did you? I forgot. What did you go this week?
We've literally just said it. By the way, in the video, it's gonna be like this is gonna be the scene after when we've said it. I'm like, has this guy got short-term memory loss or something? In real life, it's been like an hour, but this week I went 8-8 with an asterisk next to it because I definitely picked the Patriots. So
see, this week has clutched me up. Then what did you go, Q? I forgot.
8-8.
8-8. See, so this week with me going 13-3. That's clutched me up to take over Q. Q, give me that visa. I am American now.
It's expired, bro. Good luck.
Q's gonna start speaking Scouse now.
Yeah, and Key's gonna start singing the national anthem at the start of every video.
The dick writing is crazy.
Oh man. So with that being said, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Now we're jumping back to the end of the video. Any final remarks, anything to add?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, I know Q said that at the start of the video, but it's been a pleasure. It really has.
Sorry. This shit's so funny with the timeline chopping, bro. This shit's so funny to me.
I'm glad I'm not editing this year.
Oh man, this video is going out unedited. I'm not even touching it. This can be like a live stream. It's going on the VODs channel, this one. Oh my days, bro.
Just have us saying random stuff.
If I see any comment about FIFA on this video, by the way, you're getting blocked on the channel. Don't ask me about FIFA. You know, I don't want to hear you say the words play or off if your team's not in the playoffs, and I don't want to hear you say the words FIFA or FC. You know, you can't even tell me your favorite football club is LFC. How do you think LFC is getting on this weekend? I don't want to hear the words F or C. The words F or C. Oh yeah. Anyway,
this is the guy who won our league.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say, bro? What can I say? I know ball 70% on the picks. MalloryBros pick 'em. I showed at the start of the video. I did go 75% on the season, so even including those extra games earlier on in the season, it was an even better percentage in the picks. I can't wait for next season to do it all over again from week 1. Hopefully, if our schedules can align, we can pick every single week. We'll have a new name for the show. We're going to have graphics. We're going to have alerts and sounds, by the way, because Q's editing for next year, you know, so this is why we're getting all the extra production in there. But yeah.
I already have a sound lined up, but no one said massive yet.
Massive? What do you mean by that?
Isn't like the L's you took this year? Or...
And do you know what else is massive?
Wow, that was actually loud, bro. That actually sounded like it came through your mic.
That was me. No, Nanas, we go again next year. Bang, bang. I'm going to be wearing that CMC jersey so much next year.
Do you know who's not going to be wearing a CMC jersey? Christian McCaffrey.
CMC.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey.
if he finds 2 new knees, 2 new Achilles, I'm going to be so back.
I'll tell you what, he can't have my knees. If, you know.
You can have mine.
Well,
mine don't work that much.
I was about
either.
to say, I don't think that'll be much improvement on his own. But
he'll be running back to give them back to me.
We do have a little Q&A section for the end of this episode, though. We have a question coming in from Eagles fan 69. He said, "Do you boys get freaky off camera like they do at Fox Sports?" I don't know what he means by that, but we're not going to answer that question anyway. So, but yeah, man. So, bro, I'm trying to think how to end this without just saying like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibes. We'll catch us next week for the divisional champion. It's not. They don't call it championship, do they? What do they call it? Divisional round. Yeah. So we'll catch us same time next week for the divisional round. It's going to be the Chiefs against the Chargers, the Baltimore Ravens against the Bills, and I can't remember the other side of the bracket, but it doesn't even matter because I don't care about the NFC if the Cowboys aren't in it. So, with that being said, enjoy your time in Cancun. To all of the people who did not make the playoffs, and let's huddle up. Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Let's go, boys. We'll catch us next week. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibes. Take it easy, people, man.
Say that I like Colin Coward because
Terrible takes.
Yeah,
Do you know whose name we didn't see in that? Do you know whose name that didn't come up in that document though?
Unk.
Shannon Sharp. Didn't see his name nowhere. You know, shout out Unk.
Not his business. Not his business.
Hey, he's busy with Michelle.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Oh man. Yo,
that's basically you every time Scott cuts you off.
I should have. I'm in the middle of dropping brain.
You know who else was dropping brain over at Fox Sports? We won't go there.
All right.
We won't go there.
Right. I was gonna say, he's like, Key, what's your pick? Hang on, actually. Before we do that.
Yeah.
All right, go. I'm sorry. That was the last time. Sorry.
He goes, Key, take your turn. Go on, choose who you want, Buccaneers or Washington Commanders. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take the Tampa. Wait 1 sec. Let me just You know what? I respect it.
Got a show to run. You know.
You gotta show the people who the host is.
I have one bold prediction to throw in if we're still going anyway.
Yeah, sure.
You guys could come back to this if you want. Say that I was right or say that I'm a fucking idiot, but whoever wins Packers versus Eagles, I think they're representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. That's my bold take.
So who would they have to go through instead? It would be the Rams, the Vikings, and the Bucs Commanders, right? That's the other NFC side.
Yeah.
I
also have a bold prediction.
Wait, hold on a sec. Sorry, Key. Oh my god, I've done it again.
There we go.
I've done it again.
It's my turn.
I'm sorry, bro. Now go on, take it.
Oh, what I was going to say was, I think the Texans will lose, and I think they're going to fire D'Amico Ryan. I don't know why.
I hope the Texans lose, because they're the first game on the parlay.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm about to drop £100, I'm telling you.
That's my bold prediction.
As much as I hate to say it, I can see that happening. They've been moving off of these coaches way too fast, though.
Yeah, especially.
Don't even talk about them. Don't even talk about the Patriots.
Especially like that's what I was about to say. Especially with like the Pats dropping.
Yeah. Do you see
head coach?
Yeah.
Let the Choppers sing.
Bro, don't even let me say what I want to say about what I think about the Patriots, bro. Yeah. If we're all doing bold predictions, then let me give mine. In fact, before I do that, Q, I was gonna say, who's the lowest seed in the NFC side? So who's going to be playing the Lions next? Would you guys, would it be you playing the Lions, yeah?
Yep.
Ooh.
Bro, if we upset Philly, I think that we're going to carry that momentum all the way. Like, genuinely, not even trying to be biased. Like, if you upset a great team like that, I think they're going all the way. We were damn near miskicked away from doing that last year, too. So... That's all I'm saying.
Them Lions, though, bro.
If you win, Q. I'm saying you, as in the Packers, not you, Q.
Yeah.
We know Q takes L's. Sorry, that was that one. But
no, you won't play the Lions.
If you win, yeah, you'll play Tampa Bay or the Commanders, right?
No. Highest seed plays lowest remaining seed.
Are the Bucs and the Commanders? You're a lower seed than the Bucs and Commanders.
Yeah, we're the 7th seed.
Oh, the Bucs won their division, so obviously they're higher. I thought the Commanders were lower, though.
Commanders are 6th.
Damn, okay.
It goes I got it pulled up here. It's
So you play the Lions then, yeah?
Hmm.
yeah. So it'd be Lions, Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Vikings, Commanders, Packers. So in my bracket right now, I got Packers over Eagles, Packers over Lions, and then with my picks, I am taking it'd be the Bucks versus Vikings in the other game. So I pick the Vikings to win that, and then I got Packers upsetting the Vikings. Nobody beats Green Bay 3 times in a year, bro.
That Lions team, though, man,
See,
I don't know who's going to be able to stop them. I think they're my favorites for the Super Bowl right now, honestly. Like, every time I watch them, they pull another trick out the hat, you know? They got more
I don't know
tricks
how
than
you
a.
can say that with that jersey on.
I'm just, but I mean, they're on the other side of the bracket, you know what I mean? So at least it can be Ravens against Lions in there. But bro, they amaze me every time. I can't lie. You know what I think's funny with? Go on.
Sometimes I know what I'm talking about.
it's like he knows ball.
You know what I think's funny about like this whole talk that we've been like, we not one time do we ever mention the Chiefs. Like I'm not even talking about like in the game results because obviously they're on a bye this week, but like for the Super Bowl, nobody's been talking about the Chiefs, bro.
It's not
Because the
that
Bills,
people
the
don't
Bills are going to
think
beat
they're
them.
gonna win. It's not that people don't think they're gonna win. It's that they don't want them to win again.
That's a good point to be fair.
Especially because their last performance on Christmas with all the starters, they had a dominant performance. So they have what, like I think there's a big article that's like they have 24 days of rest. Their starters do. So that's a lot of time away. But if they, I don't see Kansas City not winning a game in the playoffs this year, especially if they're going to be facing the Chargers. Like, no disrespect to the Chargers, but I just don't see a world where Kansas City doesn't win at least one playoff game this year.
I mean, you know they've got a quarterback. You can never count that guy out no matter what. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. I've said this many times, I'm not saying for this season, because obviously he's not had the numbers or the stats or whatever, but bro, Patrick Mahomes is a special player. He's a special talent. And I will be seeing him in the conference game. And then the Ravens are going to beat him and go to the Super Bowl.
That's
So
that's what I got. I got Ravens in my Super Bowl. We don't need to put this
Do
in
you?
the
Yeah.
no,
but do we wanna
we'll do
go
that. We'll do that next week after the wild card because like it might, just in case anything happens, we've got to redo it again. So we'll do the divisional and the conference and the Super Bowl next week. Used to throw out bold predictions for the postseason. My bold prediction is going to be the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if that is a bold prediction or if you can say that, especially when I'm wearing a Lamar MVP Jackson jersey. It was just his birthday 2 days ago, by the way. I saw some funny tweets, bro. People tweeting like "Happy birthday, my Pookie Bear" and stuff like that to him. You know, like people were doing with Bron, but people were doing it to Lamar Jackson too.
We didn't do an end of regular season MVP ranking.
Yeah, we did. That was like halfway through the video. Q, who have you got for MVP at the end of the regular season? I'm jumping around the timeline now again.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Lamar because he got a better team around him than he did last year, but he's also just been performing out of his mind. You don't really replace a 10-to-1 interception ratio. Um, like how we talk about you take away the team's best player, how do they perform without it? I see the Ravens without Lamar as like a middle of the road to like third place in the division type team. Like if the Ravens didn't have Lamar, Bengals are in the playoffs, Steelers are in the playoffs, that kind of thing. So, I think I'd have to pick Lamar.
Key, what about you?
See, I think if the Ravens didn't have Lamar, they'd be the Texans. Not like obviously, but I mean like ranking wise, like a above average, or like not great team. Whereas my MVP, Joe Burrow, I think I really think if the Bengals didn't have Joe Burrow, they'd be the Giants. You know, they'd be fighting for the first pick in the draft. So my MVP, Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty.
You got a cigar of your own, I see.
Yeah, I'm smoking the Joe Burrow.
You smoking on the Joe
I'm
Burrow.
smoking on the Joe Burrow.
You hear that?
All you need to know, I'm smoking on a Joe Burrow. I'm smoking on a Joe Burrow. That's all he says in that, bro. Bro, Joe Burrow, what was his record again? Joe Cancun Burrow. You can't win MVP, I'm sorry, on a team that goes 9-8. Don't make the playoffs. First time in history, a player has had the most passing yards, most touchdowns in a season, had a triple crown winner, wide receiver, had the sack leader on defense, and never made the playoffs. First time in history, so record-breaking season for Lamar Jackson. First QB for whatever he went for, passing yards and touchdowns and rushing and all of that stuff. First time in history for him. Joe Burrow is setting records as well. The first quarterback to not make the playoffs with all of those stats on his team. Now, you want to talk about taking a player out of a team. If you put a different QB in there, I know Joe Burrow's great. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trash talking Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. But you put a different QB in, bro, you still have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out there. You know what I'm saying? And I know people love to talk about the Ravens with their weapons versus the Bills with their weapons. Like, what do the Bills have for Josh Allen to work with? But, bro, triple crown winning wide receiver, T. Higgins, he's going to get paid in this offseason. Trust me on that. I mean, I like it as a pick. You know, he's got the stats there, Joe Burrow, but he has, for me, too many losses and too many turnovers. He has like 9 or 10 interceptions, I want to say, this season. I think it might be 8 or 9, actually. But still, you know, my pick for MVP, I'm going to go, obviously, Lamar Jackson. I'm wearing his jersey right now. I wouldn't bet against this guy. Record-breaking year for him. But I feel like the bookies know something that we don't. Because if I go on any betting platform, any other platforms are available, sponsor me somebody, and then I'll say your name. But for now, I'm not saying any platform's name. If I put 10 on Joe Burrow, I've got that video stuck in my head now. I'm smoking on Joe Burrow. If I put 10 on Josh Allen to win MVP, how much do you think I'll get back off that?
11.
12.22. So that's £2.22 profit. If I put 10 on Lamar right now, how much do you think I'll get back?
10.50.
15.
42. So they've got him at like a 4 times profit on Lamar to win MVP right now, bro. If I put 10 on him, I get 42 back. But if I put 10 on Josh Allen, I get 12. So I feel like they know something we don't, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Josh Allen's PR team has been going crazy this year. I've seen so many graphics that are like most touchdowns this year, but they're doing like calendar year.
Oh, come on now. Stay with me now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And it's like Josh Allen is at the top by like 1, and then right underneath him is Lamar Jackson. But it's like they're doing the whole calendar year and being like most touchdowns this year, blah blah blah. It's like where's Lamar's PR team at like that? Because that's there's definitely a lot of people that can't read print this big, because that's literally how big it is on the graphic. And,
bro, I saw one of them the other day. It was a funny graphic, bro. Let me see if I've got it saved. It was like first team in history, and then in small print it was like apart from these other 5 teams that have done it.
Yeah. Oh, I love the one that's like it's Penn State. I fucking hate Penn State. They had a graphic that's like, there's been a Penn State player in every Super Bowl except these years.
That was it. That's the one that I saw, yeah. Oh man. You see, I showed the boys this stat the other day about Josh Allen, which I think could sway the MVP votes. Josh Allen is the only QB in NFL history. Like, that is one of the stats of all time, you know?
I mean, he's been doing good for a quarterback, but Lamar hasn't been doing bad for a running back, you know?
I mean, Josh Allen's been doing well for a linebacker, bro. I found out that guy was 6'4", 240 pounds. How's he built like that? Oh, man. What a season it's been known. Can't wait for the playoffs this weekend. And yeah, I think that'll do it, boys. I think we should wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Anything to say?
One thing to say.
Go for it.
I might swerve in a corner. Whoa.
Bro, I was trying to find a way to fit it into... You know when you said before about Lamar's PR team? I was going to say, Joe Burrow's out here getting married to Haley Steinfeld, doing up like wedding photos and stuff, and then Lamar's reposting like Zay Flowers and Isaiah Likely with fucking LiAngelo Ball in the background. Oh, man. I was,
What a
bro. I
song.
was trying to work that in.
Champs.
Oh, lad, I was gonna say before about Kyron Williams when I started talking about the run game of the Rams, and I was like, if he can pop that corner, swerve round it, and then reference the ball song. But
I mean, if you want some intro music going, you got a little snippet of
Yeah.
that going.
I might swerve in a corner. Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa. You have to put us singing it though, because you'll get copyrighted then.
yeah, true. In fact, you get copyrighted for singing.
Isn't it like a snippet though? You can't sing like more than like 15 seconds or something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I could put his actual song in for like 15 seconds. I don't know how much it is. The YouTube copyright system is more unreliable than Sam Darnold, to be fair. Sorry, Sam. I'm attacking him again. Don't let the Rams win this weekend, Sam. Don't.
Sam, if you're watching,
Sorry, Mr. Donald. I don't know him like that. Mr. Donald. Don't let the Rams
I
win
like
this
you.
weekend, Mr. Donald.
the rest of these guys hate you.
Because I
Once they
never,
hate.
I never want to hear him say the words foot or ball again. In fact, did you say play or off during this video, Key? I don't think you did. I don't think you did.
I can't.
That's what I'm
We're not
saying.
in.
So no, that's what I'm saying. So I was trying to see if you had a punishment or not, but yeah.
Punishments. I have to make the graphic. It's all posed for a thumbnail.
What?
We don't need to. I'll find one during the video, but yeah, represent that. Represent your jersey because you're not going to the playoffs. The C stands for Cancun. Cancun Cousins.
Me and my cousins in Cancun.
Who was
What
in
editing
Cancun?
software
What editing software do you use? I'm so glad that I was not bottom.
I
I'm
use
so happy.
Hit Film Express. You can't even get it no more. It's discontinued.
do you-
Yeah, discontinued. You've got to pay for it now. I am paying for jack shit, bro. You know what I mean? The only thing
Don't
I'm
keep
paying
this in.
for is to keep the lights on. Key, your lights on right now?
Don't want to answer that question.
I was just gonna see if you said nah, they're off, but you can't say that word. You know, I don't want to hear you say.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear you say play. You're lucky you don't
The
have.
lights are on.
You're lucky you don't have a child because you can't go to your child and say, "Oh, it's playtime." You can't say that. You can't. You
did
can't
you
take them to the
did you have
playground.
fun? I say, oh, did you have fun today on the cement?
On the cement. That's
Do you want
crazy.
to go to the park and have a little trying to think of other words for that. You know what I mean?
Oh man, one word you definitely can say though is Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cancun break. Let's go. End of season. Off to Cancun then. Well, in fact, we're not. We'll be here next week for the playoffs. But I don't want to hear you say the words play or off. Oh man, I can't wait. Honestly, yeah. So I'm about to drop right now.